Hey everybody, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, 5th of July.
We're back on the wrong day of the week once again.
But is it ever the wrong day of the week when we're coming to you live?
Well, we try to do it on Fridays, and we'll get back to it next week.
Hey, now that's not bad.
Oh, okay. So we usually, if you have been here with us before, we usually enjoy a Manhattan or some other cocktail, but Manhattan is probably the
most usual.
Most usual. So what did you do differently here?
Well, we ran out of the standard bitters that everyone uses, Angostura bitters, which is a little bottle of orange bitters that you shake into a Manhattan.
Some people get really into
Excuse me.
Some people get really into bitters, and they have all different kinds
Yeah.
of bitters, but it seems like Angostura is maybe the most commonly used one.
We're into cheaper stuff sometimes.
We like cheap bitters.
We like cheap bitters. No, it was at Total Wine, and it's like $13 for a tiny little bottle, and I thought I remember paying half that.
Yeah.
Trader
not that long
Joe's
ago.
has their own bottle, but the way that it shakes out is slightly different, and it's got a slightly different flavor profile. So last week when I made our drinks, they were all wrong. Also because I spilled, I was mixing the drink, and somehow I forget exactly what happened, but I spilled about half the drink, and it went down into the crack in the counter and started dripping onto the floor. I had to clean all that up. It was a really clean spot on the floor, though.
Yeah.
So then I had to recreate like half. Anyway, last week was just a bad drink, and it wasn't because of the bitters. And so this week, I tried asking ChatGPT to tell me what the actual liquid volume measurement of bitters was. And we have the New York Bartender's Guide that doesn't tell you either. It just says, a couple of shakes or 4 dashes or whatever. But the Joe's stuff comes out at a different rate when you shake it. So anyway, a little experimentation. Got the bitters balanced, I think. And then, of course, instead of a cherry, we have these, hibiscus flowers in syrup in the drink.
Yes, they're good.
And you're like,
Oh no, that was a very deep dive onto the drink. It was very good and informative. I guess I was just expecting you to say I use different bitters in a hibiscus instead of a cherry.
no, I'm gonna dive deep.
All right,
I'm
well
gonna dive deep.
that was interesting and informative. Thank you, and it's a delicious drink as well.
Well, I'll tell you folks, if I was talking to ChatGPT, they'd be fascinated with everything that I just said.
Please tell me more.
Exactly.
All right.
ChatGPT is like your best friend if you start talking to it about your life. It doesn't care how long you ramble on. It just lets you go and go and go, and
Always interested.
encourages you the
Yes.
whole time.
All right. Shall we move on to Market Minute?
Okay.
Okay. Was that a non sequitur?
Well, the challenge now is to make Eric talk for just 1 minute.
Okay. Well, that's what we do here. We chat about San Diego and life in San Diego, but also 1 minute of a real estate update, which
yes.
is coming up right now.
Yes.
And do you want to talk about the drink some more?
Another thing that we do on this show, though, is Eric goes on long tirades.
Okay,
That has happened.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yes.
That wasn't really a tirade, but
Well, long
We're
rants.
just getting started. Okay, let's do Market Minute.
Let's do it.
And 5, 6, 7, 8. Go.
Okay, this week in San Diego real estate, for the first time in at least 3 months, the number of homes for sale, i.e. inventory, went down. Albeit an insignificant drop, it is the first drop in over 3 months, if only by a few homes. And this is because the number of new listings plateaued and the number of pending sales just inched up a tiny bit as well. And another thing that we've started doing is looking at price reductions, less price reductions over the last 7 days than the previous 2. And we'll continue to track this so that we bring you accurate information. And the reason I believe for the slight jump in pending sales is the fact that rates went down yet again. And also, none of these moves are super significant. However, every little bit helps. And it's making things look just a tiny bit better for buyers, which hopefully will make things look a tiny bit better for sellers. And that's what's happening.
All right, Market Minute. Now, so let's go back to San Diego stuff.
Okay.
So it's 4th of July weekend. I think most of us probably know that. I hope everyone's having, a fun and relaxing time with your family and friends or whoever you like to hang out with, or if you like to hang out by yourself, that's cool too. So lots of people are traveling this weekend. And AAA.
Why? I can't. Well,
I get maybe they don't live in San Diego.
that's true. If you don't, yeah.
Anyway, record numbers of travelers are expected across the country. AAA says more than 5 million Californians will be traveling by, I think we already talked about this last week, but boat, train, car, whatever. So there's a dating app called Yuzu, which I had never heard of. And they've ranked the friendliest cities in America. And San Diego, #1.
Wow.
Most friendly city in the whole nation.
Okay.
So the ranking is based on real-life user experiences, including how often locals engage in positive interactions, offer help to strangers, and display general warmth.
Okay. Well, it's easy to be in a good mood when the weather's nice and, as much traffic as we think we have here. We spent a little time with some folks from the San Francisco Bay Area this week, and they were remarking about how little traffic we have. And I guess when you compare us to Los Angeles, Orange County, Alameda County, all these Bay Area counties, we do have less traffic, and I guess that
Contra Costa?
Contra Costa, that might make us, yes, that's one of the counties.
Okay, sorry.
That's one of
we're naming counties.
That's one of the Bay Area counties,
okay.
San Francisco County.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, I suppose that all could lead to San Diego being perceived as a friendly city. I always try to be friendly.
Yeah, just the other day, someone asked me to take a picture of them and their friend while I was out and about, and I did. I did take a picture of them and their friend. I did a good job, too. I took a bunch from different angles. I didn't just snap a picture and give them their phone back.
That was very friendly
really
of you.
Put some work into it.
Thank you. You didn't grab their phone and run off with it?
Not this time. Let's see. Oh, okay. So more 4th of July weekend stuff, travel stuff, beaches. Let's do then and now San Diego beaches on the 4th of July.
Yes.
So you sent me this. I haven't looked at it yet, but it looks like what's happening at San Diego beaches currently. And then I think you sent me the throwback too. So from like in the 80s.
1982.
Yeah. So let's check out.
Back in 82.
Back in 82. Let's check out current San Diego beaches, and then we will look
here
at,
right now. San Diego beaches.
Right, I think we can imagine what these folks are going to say. Let's just go right to the beach footage.
People are watching us right now. We still have plenty of room here at the beach, but you can see, right, we already have a good amount of tents. People setting up for a long day. They're ready to celebrate very early in the morning. We have that beach view. We've got people excited. So some people have been here since 3 a.m. even earlier, trying to claim their spot because they figured Friday, 4th of July, it's going to get really busy. And
I've never gone here just to go to the beach. I mean, I've been to this spot a lot of times, but on the boardwalk, like for Belmont Park and stuff.
You might
we stayed
find one
down
that's
here once.
maybe hidden, but so many people already getting that parking spot because everybody is looking forward to the fireworks show that's happening later tonight. And of course, they just want to.
So they're hanging out at the beach
and they
all day.
Realize that
wow.
it's gonna get
Look at these
crowded.
tents.
So
Man, that's elaborate. I guess I wouldn't mind hanging out at the beach all day if I had a little house I could build there.
And just talking about
you could
the
like take a nap in there, have a little cot set up.
I guess maybe we should work on that for next year.
All right, next year. Okay. So this is pretty much more of the same here. So we can see what's happening in San Diego, one San Diego beach right now.
2025.
Yeah. Let's check out from the 80s.
1982.
Okay.
Back in 82.
Looks like 82
What does
Ocean
4th of
Beach
July
and
mean to you?
85 Mission Beach.
I think it's a very important day. It's the celebration of the United States of America, equal opportunity, and things that still haven't come true but are on their way.
They're on their way, brother.
A night for fireworks,
old
a little
school
partying,
sparklers.
Sometimes a lot of partying.
I think we have
This was
that
the scene
exact
at Ocean
cooler.
Beach
Did you see
tonight.
that cooler, the
Thousands
blue one
jamming
with
the pier
like
and the sand
Those
to watch
are-
one of the many
those are
fireworks
timeless.
displays
The
offered
igloo,
around
yeah.
the county. Everybody was in a good mood, but a few were more reflective than others on this 206th birthday.
It means America to me and freedom, mostly
Right,
freedom.
lady from the 80s.
Right today, with everything that's happening in the world. And I'm just so thankful to God I'm here.
Is it still
Same
important
lady
to all
from the
Americans?
It is to me.
Why?
Why? Because the United States is the greatest country to live in. It beats the USSR and any other communist country.
All right.
People who signed the
And that guy
Declaration of
would know.
Independence, if they were here tonight, what do you think they would think of all this?
They'd be really pleased, I think.
Some 80s hair going
I think they'd
on.
feel like they'd accomplished something.
People had gone crazy burning up this much money.
when we could eat it instead.
The signers of the Declaration of Independence,
All
if
right.
they were here
Should
tonight, what would they think of
Let's
this?
find more beach. Here, let's
Wrong
go
with
for
this
some beach
picture?
footage.
Why, it's the lack of crowds.
That's
Oh,
the
this
same
is the
beach.
same
At
beach.
Mission Beach, at least, it was as quiet at July the
There's
4th
another
as
one of those
anyone
igloo
could
coolers.
remember.
Oh yeah.
No
those are-
worry about
yeah, those are
finding a place
classic
to get
December,
wet
I guess.
here, to get greased up,
There's
or
a
to
very
bat a
good-
ball around.
Slathering on some baby oil to
Get more sun.
Because they're stopping them down at the highway. They're all parking on the highway. It's going to get really
I like this
packed.
guy's mustache.
It really.
I figure some people are at home having cookouts, and some people are at SeaWorld and Del Mar Fair.
Del Mar Fair. That's
So
what we used
it
to
was
call
more
it.
crowded than
We
this
did both
last
of those
week.
things last.
So I don't know where
yesterday.
everyone's at.
Cooked out and
Everyone's
went to the
home
Del Mar
barbecuing,
Fair.
drinking
Yeah.
beer, and not driving and drinking at the same time.
Even the lifeguards were impressed with the lack of business here.
It's very rare to really have the conditions this good and
That
the
guy's-
crowds
that
as
guy's at the
small.
beach? Oh, I guess he is.
We're
Okay.
normally used to a lot of people in the water.
If Mission Beach wasn't packed, other beaches were. Those where traffic wasn't limited. Ocean Beach had its share of surf and sun seekers. La Jolla Shores, generally packed, was packed this day. But if it was a quiet day at the beach that was desired, the few who got into Mission
1985.
Beach were at the right place.
Huh.
Lorraine Kimmel, News
No
8,
tents.
Mission Beach.
All
Yeah,
right.
no tents that year.
Well, let's
Interesting.
talk about
Don't mix
the 4th
pink
of
salt with
July
lemon
just a
and
little
two
bit
other
more because
ingredients
that
if you
was
don't wanna
beach
donate.
stuff.
Do I
going
still
on.
need my earpiece?
No, I don't think so. So they were talking about having cookouts and going to the Del Mar Fair, and between all of us, we did both of those things yesterday.
Yes.
It was now San Diego Fair.
Yes.
I was there with my friends because we were performing with our dance troupe, and then we had a cookout with some John's friends. Some
Yes.
classic San Diego activities from today through the 80s, and
Yes.
I don't know how far back, but definitely further back than that.
That guy said we're the equal opportunities. We're not there yet, but it's coming, and let's
It's right around the corner.
Let's keep that vision.
Yes. So speaking of the fair, hundreds of lost items are still unclaimed. So lots of stuff's been turned into the lost and found. Nearly 700 items. It sounds like tomorrow is the last day. Anyway, they have a number here. Dang it, hang on. All right, here, just pretend I had the screen up the whole last 12 seconds. So you can call them and find the stuff. But anyway, here are the thing. They have a itemized list of the things that they found. One bicycle pump.
I'm going to call him up and say, yeah, I lost my bicycle pump and a pair of heavy black boots.
I lost my flip-flops. and
What's
my
that? I also lost my
winter
hearing
jacket.
aid.
Heavy winter jacket.
All
right.
I'm so cold. Okay.
So we have 2 pairs of kids' shoes and 7 individual kids' shoes.
couple of EpiPens.
Some cameras, miscellaneous electronics, water bottles, hats.
8 caricatures. I guess that might be like one of those pictures that somebody had drawn
Yeah.
of themselves.
64 pairs of eyeglasses. That's a lot of eyeglasses. Anyway, stuff, you could pick it up if you lost it. Sometimes you see more interesting things on here, but
120 cell phones. 108 already picked up. Okay.
most people got their phones. All right, Crystal Pier reopening on Monday. It was closed.
yeah.
It's been closed since 2023. Storm messed up a bunch of the bracing things that support the wooden parts were broken because of the storm. So they finally fixed them all up, and it's going to open back up on Monday.
What about those cottages? Did they fix those up?
I think it sounds like,
The Crystal Pier Motel.
I included okay. It sounds like it's all fixed up, so we're good to go again.
I've always wanted to stay there, although I've heard, I know it's expensive, and two, I heard at some point that it wasn't that nice, but I don't know that for a fact, so don't sue me for defamation.
Well, I tried to look into it. I went to the website, which I even have here. So they have descriptions of there's cottages and hotel rooms. I couldn't find any prices, and you know what that means.
Yes.
But let's see. Okay, so we've got studios with bath, kitchen, and deck, max occupancy 2 people. We have a 1-bedroom, max occupancy 4 people. 2-bedroom cottage. Okay, you can fit 6 people in there. Let's look for a 2-bedroom cottage. Reservation info. 2-night minimum in the winter, 3 nights in the summer. So it doesn't say how much.
Oh, that's always been the problem. They have this minimum, 3-night minimum.
Yeah, you can't just go stay overnight or something. reservations by phone or in person. So
Okay.
they don't tell you how much it is. You have to call them.
All right, well, put that on the list, along with pitching a tent on Mission Beach. A tent.
All right. Yes, a tent on. But okay,
What?
so in other San Diego stuff, Comic-Con is coming up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about Comic-Con specifically right now, except that there are some new cocktails being inspired by Comic-Con at San Diego establishments.
Is one of them a hibiscus Manhattan?
No, that one's all ours.
Well, it should be.
So now it's 4 different establishments that are, 3 establishments that have 4 cocktails between them, but they're all in the Pendry. I didn't realize the Pendry had that many different establishments in it. We were there one time for there was like a awards. No, it was an.
Oh, that was a Centurion.
Yeah,
dinner.
it was like an awards dinner for Century 21.
We got an award.
We did, and we got a free dinner at the Pendry as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
You remember how long they made us wait, though?
Yeah, I gotta say I didn't love the Pendry one. We've been to several of those, and the Pendry one, it was crowded, and we had to wait a long time, and maybe that was just a fluke. I'm sure it's great usually, but
Well, they gave us 2 solid cocktails and a couple of crackers, and then they made us stand in this room for 90 minutes.
yeah, it was one of those cement tomb kind of a situations. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's talk about these drinks.
Okay.
So, fans of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can sip on a Cowabunga cooler at the Lionfish Coastal Cuisine. Midori liqueur, cucumber, honeydew, and lemon. All right. Then they also have a regeneration refresher inspired by the BBC science fiction series Doctor Who.
Ooh,
Grey
Grey
Goose
Goose
vodka,
vodka.
grenadine and Sprite. All right, that sounds pretty good. Okay, we've got a Joker's Live, espresso martini, and an Elven elixir, elderflower liqueur, rose wine, and grapefruit soda. All right, well, those sound pretty good. I mean, I'd like to try them all, and they look pretty.
It's kind of a waste of Grey Goose, though, don't you think? If you're going to mix it with Sprite, you're not
true.
going to be able to tell that it's great vodka.
That's a good point. So I decided to ask ChatGPT to help us invent our own cocktail, and it's based on, I thought of a San Diego thing, Torrey Pines, my favorite beach. So we've got the Torrey Pines Old Fashioned.
Oh, look at this.
Here's what's in it. You talk about this drink for a minute.
2 ounces of rye or bourbon. We'd use bourbon, I'm sure. 1/4 ounce of pine, honey, or maple syrup. Interesting. 2 dashes of orange bitters, or 4 dashes if you're using the Trader Joe's.
And Angostura bitters.
Oh, wait. Oh, orange bitters and Angostura.
lots
Okay,
of
interesting. 2 different bitters. A few drops of cedar or pine tincture.
I tried to find that. I couldn't find it like at Total Wine or anything.
ChatGPT is giving us ingredients that are non-existent. Orange peel and a small sprig of fresh pine or rosemary.
You could put some Torrey Pine in there.
Yeah, I think Torrey pine needle wouldn't really go very good in a drink because it's really long.
Yeah, you might poke yourself in the eye with it.
Rosemary, I could see. The mixing glass to the whiskey, maple syrup. This is okay.
Anyway, ChatGPT has invented this drink for us, and maybe we'll try it sometime.
Yes, I mean
Oh, Grown Up Gaming. Happy 4th of July. Went to the fair last week, Point Loma today. Oh, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Glad you're here. Hope you're having a great weekend. Sounds like you are.
Yes. Been a while since we've seen you.
Let's move on to San Diegoville. Oh no, what's happening? Oh, an advertisement.
Okay.
All right. So you know how the tipping thing is kind of coming to a head now. People get upset about tipping. What do you mean?
I'm trying not to. I'll restrain myself until you finish explaining.
Oh well, now I forgot what I was going to say.
Tipping.
Anyway, you know how they give you the tip thing, and they
Yes.
start at like 24%, and it's 20% is not enough anymore. So there was a dust up at the Seneca, which is a Italian rooftop restaurant on the Intercontinental Hotel in downtown San Diego. So this guy was on a date, and he was upset that the options presented to him were 24%, 26%, and 28%. So he decided to do custom tip and left 10%, which turned into a whole thing where the server shouts, according to the guy, "Are you serious, dude?" and then brings the cook over. Okay, according to San Diegoville and the person described, the cook was some buff Latino dude who told the man, "Listen, buddy, we all have bills to pay. You're in a high-end restaurant with your girl. Tipping out low is very disrespectful." So apparently the girl wasn't impressed. The dinner ended on an awkward note.
I'll bet it did.
So I can kind of see, both. Oh, side note, this is a consortium holdings company establishment.
And I'll bet you there's a surcharge on that bill.
Oh, yeah, there's got to be a surcharge too.
I'll bet you anything there's a surcharge on the bill, because they don't just want to make the food more expensive. They want to let you know we're charging more because they were forcing us to pay our employees.
It's a passive-aggressive statement
Yes.
about being forced to pay their employees.
Now, should I say something?
You say whatever you want.
Okay. So you're on a date. First of all, I don't care how bad the service was, tip 15%.
That's not the time to
No.
go cheap. No.
Just tip it. Also though,
I understand why he was annoyed. I mean,
big time.
They don't even start at 20%. They start at 24%.
I mean, it's okay. I've been alive almost 55 years, and as long as I've been alive, 15% was the tip.
Oh yeah, for decades that was, and you might go like 17, 18, maybe 20 if the service is really
It's
good.
an awesome service.
Yeah.
But now they're shoving this thing in your face and they're giving you 20 plus, 20 or more as the starting point.
Even for counter service, like if nobody has to come and bring you the
Do
food,
anything, yeah.
they just hand it to you over the counter. You're still
getting-
supposed to give them 28%.
Yeah, you're getting asked for tips like, everywhere. And I get it, people need, the tip money, but at the same time, if I'm going to tip 20+%, something really extraordinary better have happened.
Or especially 28%.
Yeah, but then if you push custom, then you're forced to do this quick math in your head, which actually isn't that difficult.
That's what we used to do.
Right.
I always put in a custom. Well, okay, I usually do 20%, but sometimes if I feel like that's not fair, like at the counter thing, I'll do a custom tip.
Yeah, I don't want to bag on. I don't want to bag on anybody, but it's like, you go to a fast food place. I'm supposed to tip. I mean, that's why you go to a fast food place, because you're not looking for table service. You're looking for just a...
Well, it seems unfair that someone who just hands you the food should get the same tip as someone who's, carrying things around and taking orders. And
Yeah,
I
making
don't
sure
know.
everything's right.
I used to work at Little Caesars and I never got a tip. So.
Yeah, admittedly, I've never worked in a job. I don't think I have, where tips were a thing. And I definitely understand tipping. Although what I don't understand is the consortium holdings, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe they don't do this, but I'll bet you they do. I'll bet you consortium holdings does the surcharge.
Oh, they do. Yeah,
okay.
they totally do. Yeah.
All right, and what percent is that?
I think it's 4%. Yeah.
Okay, so right off the bat, they're taking 4% as just a additional overcharge, when they could just make the food 4% more and nobody'd notice. But they have to make a point of telling you they're charging you that, and then they want 22+%.
This is Beacons Beach in the background, by the way.
Nice.
Just
on top of that, it's just it's too much.
I agree, and I
It's
think
too
a lot
much.
of other people agree too.
And
Anyway.
we need to rework this whole thing here to get ourselves to a point of sanity.
I think it shouldn't happen while you're on a date, though. That's not the time.
No,
to
that
take
is not the
stand
time
and
to
go
make a
cheap with
point
your
at all.
tipping.
No way.
No, it
No.
sounds like that guy wasted his money on the date because that lady isn't going to go out with him anymore.
But then the restaurant people, I don't see there's ever a reason you should confront a customer about their tip.
Yeah, that's
just
a bad look, and it really backfired for them because they got all kinds of really bad Google reviews. And stuff out of it.
They got review bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tip, so it is the customer's option. If the customer wants to be a jerk, then take a mental note. That person's a jerk, I guess. I don't know. The whole thing is just a little irritating and out of control in my view.
Tipping. Well, if you're here joining us, how do you feel about tipping? Do you think 24 to 28% is a good starting point, or should we dial it back to the olden days where 15% was the starting point?
Well, 15% is 15% of the bill, in 1970, and 15% of the bill in 2025. It's a slight, the bill was small back then. You tip 15%.
Grown Up Gaming says 24% is okay for table service. All right, well, if it's decent service, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, I guess we don't do a whole bunch of table service stuff. But, honestly, if I'm at a restaurant and the service is good, I'm generous,
Yeah, okay.
I want to be generous.
Right.
But if it's just an over-the-counter kind of thing, God, 15% would seem to be.
20% is not okay if I have to stand in line to order and stand to wait for my food, says Grown Up Gaming. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, that's too much for counter stuff.
Anyway,
all right.
I don't want to be controversial.
Well, speaking of restaurants, let's look at the restaurant closures this weekend. So these are restaurants that were shut down by the health department due to violations. So I recognize a couple of these. Original Pancake House in Encinitas. All right, now here's one down here that kind of, this one was too bad. La Perla in Point Loma.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, we like that place.
We like that place.
Okay.
So let's see what they've done. Food handler training. They weren't training their food handlers properly, apparently. Food holding temperatures, contact surfaces, vermin, major. Some other things out of compliance, too. That's too bad.
That place is pretty rustic.
It is rustic. We enjoyed our food there, but maybe we'll give them a little time to straighten things out.
That's a good, I enjoyed the food I had at La Perla.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so who else is on the list this week?
Well, I guess they're going to make us wait to reload the list again. What are we having for dinner tonight? Oh, it's family pizza night.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Usually I ask you that on Fridays, but
yes.
we always have pizza on Saturdays.
You've made pizza dough.
I did. I guess I
It's
should know I
rising
made
right
the
now.
dough. All right.
What is that?
Where?
BMH Italian?
Oh.
Okay. I got a story about that.
You go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, tell your story.
Now, let's see what their violations are.
Okay.
BMH Italian.
I got to tell you this one. Lovely place. I'm sure the sandwiches are great. Not totally surprised to hear this.
Me either, because yes, it's an Italian deli, and the sandwiches are, well, at least historically were really good. Last time I got a sandwich there, I got to say it was mostly lettuce, but one time I was in there, and I was standing in line, and there was an old Italian lady behind the counter.
And you can say this because your mom is an
old Italian lady.
I'm not going to get into anything else about that, but we weren't really surprised to see what you just said.
I am half Italian, and my mom is an old Italian lady.
Okay.
And she's 82, so I think it's fair to say she's old.
Okay.
Not derogatory, just factual. So there's an older Italian lady back behind the counter, and she's doing stuff with the sandwiches, and I happen to notice that she licks her fingers before I think she's grabbing a piece of butcher paper or something. So she's doing it like, you used to lick your finger before you turn the page in the book, which is...
She's doing it with meat at the sandwich shop.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm standing in line, and I see this, and I'm just like, no. I took off. I don't think I've been back there since.
Okay.
But so the fact that they have health code violations, maybe tell grandma not to,
Don't lick your fingers while you're cooking.
Yeah. Especially not when you're in plain view of customers.
Right, yeah, at least not where people can
Give her
see.
a little thing of water she can dip her finger in or something, but damn.
Yeah,
okay. That's all.
All right, go ahead.
That's my story about BMH.
That's good. Let's go to Colorado, where a bear got trapped in a car. I think the bear was okay, but the bear spent some time in the car.
Oh, I love bear news. We
Yeah.
always have good.
I think we recently talked about some bears that got into somebody's cabin and roughed up the
I
refrigerator.
think it was just last week.
Yeah. Well, here, this bear has got itself locked into a parked car in Colorado and demolished the interior.
Yes, it did.
Before being freed by a sheriff's deputy. So let's check this out. Here comes the deputy.
The red one? Oh, there's a bear in there.
A bear in there.
This guy walks around with background music.
Oh.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do.
Good bear music, too. I like
I got a rope.
It's got
So
tuba
I'll just
in
tie it to the door handle.
The sheriff has a plan.
I'll go up there or back over here and
sounds very confident,
just
like
pull
he
it
might have
open
done
and
this
he can run
before. What is that, a tuba?
Yeah.
Okay. Tuba is the best instruments for bear music.
All right, is it unlocked?
Okay, let's see how this works out. All right,
Ready?
go ahead, pull the rope.
That's not far enough back in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't be that far. Okay, let's
Come on.
here comes
Go
the
on.
bear.
Like you gotta tell us that's the bear.
Come
Bear. In case you were wondering which one the bear
on. Your
was.
car is destroyed.
Oh no! Oh, look what the bear did. He ripped off all this stuff here. Now, I have to admit, I already saw this, and I was disappointed they didn't get more bear footage. So you just, get an eyeful when you can.
Important
Take a report
to
on
lock your
that bear.
cars and keep
That bear's
all
going
food
into
and stuff
custody
out.
soon.
But the interior of the car too.
Just
I
wrecked.
it's not good.
Wow.
All right. Anyway, yeah, you should definitely not leave stuff in your car that a bear might want to get into, because that's what could happen to you.
Yes. And after what?
Oh, I just realized it's 6:46 and we're supposed to be having family pizza night.
When we usually start.
6:45.
All right, so we're a minute late. We're all right.
That's fine.
But we're almost done too.
Yeah, we're almost done. Okay, perfect timing.
And I've decided that 24% is fine if it's good table service.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
you're not just tipping the server, you're tipping the cook and everything too. I get it.
Well, yeah.
But this counter thing, and just, God, it's starting, I don't know, consortium holdings.
Yeah, I think we've talked about them a lot, and I'm sure we'll talk about them again. But
Yes.
maybe we should wrap it up for today.
Good old mom and pop shops.
Mom and pop shop. That's right.
All right, well, it's time for us to make some pizza pies, because after all, I am half Italian.
And I'm not half Italian, but I'm pretty good at making bread.
Makes
so I
a
make the
damn
dough.
good pizza dough.
The kids are a quarter Italian, so they get their Italian fingers in there, and you Italians and
well,
your finger licking.
Glad we could hang out. Glad we had the chat was jumping a little bit, so that's great.
Grown up gaming.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Light iced coffee.
Happy
Shout
4th
out.
of July. Little gangster Ern, wherever you are.
Where are you?
Where are you? They only stopped by that one time. So maybe we should stop shouting out.
We're hoping, but we'll see.
Bring them back. Maybe more little gangsters will come. Okay. All right. Fine.
All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time.